Hey Chris, so we need to talk about the elephant in the room. We've been seeing it for a while now, and yet no one has really talked about it. And I mean, it's pretty obvious when you stop and you think about it. You know what I mean. Death's mistress has become weak. If you take a look at the way Nikki used to act, we can see not only when she was actually a sister of the dark and actually Death's mistress, the way that she would tear into people without abandon, she still did do so with her own flair. She was extremely powerful. She could rip through a major general and have him, up on a spit and whatnot in like almost no time, as it seemed through the book. You could see her overpowering wizards and using magic in a way that is fundamentally different than every other character. Terry writes of times in which you see the rope of additive and subtractive magic twisting together. The time we saw her inside the spell form and she was pulling in the additive and the subtractive, and how creative she was with it all. But then here we come into the new Nikki Chronicle. Now, we do see this after the star shift, which they have mentioned has caused a fundamental change in the actual basis of magic. But still, with Nathan, we saw a deterioration with him from a start to a finish. Whereas now we see Nikki almost reserved, which is different than the way that she acted while she was with Richard. After she was when she was not with Jigang, she still was extremely powerful. The scenes of her fighting through Al Tarang, as well as the other depictions that we've seen with her against Jigang's army. We can definitely see that there's been a deterioration in Nikki's magic as well as in Nathan's magic. I just feel like, as was what the case Zed trying to fool Richard, the weaker magic is going in this case. And you see the weaker magic in this case as Nathan, as he does only have access to his additive side, and his gift for prophecy has been torn away. So I would call him an injured gifted, which would probably put him on the weak side. And that's why we're seeing his magic deterioration so quickly. But I feel like the fundamental there is that Nikki also is experiencing a deterioration to her magic, which is the excuse I'm giving for why she's just been such a weak sauce in the last two books. Of course, you can throw in excuses about being poisoned and distracted and all this other kind of stuff, but the Nikki, the Death's mistress that I know, had power and precision and control. And I definitely feel like there are a lot of glaring discrepancies if there isn't some kind of additional issue. And that fundamental issue with the grace may end up being what Nikki has to solve in the end in order to save the world So, bud, tell me what you think, and if you have any other comments, feel free to shoot them back at me.